What's going on, Nakamas? It's your boy Mozy here, back with another episode of Mozy Reacts. On this episode of Mozy Reacts, I have episode 702 of One Piece. But before I get into today's episode, this is a reminder that this is not a market substitute. You should always support the official release.
まだ5歳と2歳だった俺の息子たちが天竜人の前を横切ったって理由。
娘が哀れな姿で帰ってきて一言も喋らずに3日後に自害したわ。
俺は昔奴隷だってこの両目お前らが俺の女房を返せ。どうでもいいんだろお前らにゃ。俺たちの命なんて。お前ら腹減ったことあるか。みんな骨と皮になって死んだんだよ。神も当然なんだろ。人間とは違うんだろ。これくらいじゃ知らねえよな。人間を虫けらいかに扱いやがって。苦しいって悲しいって辛いってなんだか知ってるか。おい天竜人。
That right there. What do you... I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to stop it just because I have to vent. Like, what do you do in that situation? You know what I mean? They said the young daughter crossed the path and they died. The one lady obviously implied that her daughter was kidnapped and raped and ended up committing suicide because of them. The one guy was like, I was your slave and look what you guys did to my eyes. We saw the flashback of Dolphy being like, hey, let's go out and buy some slaves. I want to buy some humans. So we know that Dolphy was not a kind child when he was with the Celestials. But then seeing Dolphy and Koro strung up like that and people shooting arrows at him, I'm like, yo, that's fucked up. But what they did before... And all I'm thinking is it reminds me of a, I personally haven't seen the episode, but I know the premise of it. There's a Black Mirror episode that they do where if you're committed with a crime, the example that they have is like there's a girl and there's a couple and they kidnap this little girl and they end up kidnapping this little girl and kill her, right? And so for her punishment, what they do is they erase her memory and then they let her loose out in the world. And then she herself gets hunted out and kidnapped and tortured like she did the little girl. So that way she can feel the punishment. So that way she can feel how it felt like in the little girl's position. And it just begs the question of like, do we stoop low? Do we torture people just because they did us dirty? Or do we rise above it and say, no, we don't stoop to their level? Nothing is fucked up. It's just like that because they're kids. But they're kids though. Is it they're like what I'm thinking is if a kid is like right now, my analogy, what I'm thinking that comes to mind is if I see a racist kid who is like 10 years old and is calling people the N-words and says, I hate black people. Do I hold it against him and then punish that 10-year-old kid? Or is it because, well, that's what he was brought up in. That's what he was taught. It's not his fault. So that's where I'm like, Dolphy, like, I understand that Dolphy's mentality and what they do is fucked up, but he is a kid. He's just a product of his environment. So is it... And again, his father left the Celestials. His father was like, I want to be normal. So his father is almost a good guy, but like these people can't see, you know what I mean? So I'm just... Great fucking story writing, Oda. Because I don't think any other animes really make me have to pause and question life this much. See, I get that sentiment as well, Blue. They just see someone to take their anger out on. I get that, but then that one guy said, I was your slave. So it's like, at the same time, they aren't just... You know what I mean? They did do some shit. So I'm just like, I don't know, man. I speak like all this, but I think like when it comes down to it, I would be one of those people shooting the arrows just because I think my emotions would get the better of me, even though I hate it so much. I'm not gonna lie, Dolphy, after seeing that, I definitely look at you with new light because, I mean, yeah, I would want to destroy the world too if people were shooting arrows at me when I was 10 years old over something that Grandpa did. I'm sorry, I had to go back a second. Is Dolphy 43 years old? I'm sorry, that just really shook my brain. They said when he was 10, and then 33 years ago, so... Yeah, 33 years ago from today, and he was already 10 there. So yeah, he'd be 43. How did you come to this mentality living amongst the Celestials? I'm confused. I'm shook. They went at treasure chest. Let's live humble lives. Dude, how did you make it out? I'm happy, but like, how did you grow up and be so kind-hearted? That's crazy. See, I'm just saying, that little kid talking that shit to me, and then I finally see him strung up. See, it's like so fucked up, but like, I don't know why, but I'm like, I want that because his eyes right there, he realized like, oh shit, and it's just like, yeah, exactly. That's how everybody felt for years, for the past 33 years. That's how everybody else felt. So, suck it, man. But I don't like that we have to go down to their level to do that, to make him feel that, you know?
しばらくここで。
やだ。こんな汚いところで生きていけるわけない。家の中にも虫が、家の匂いも吐き気がする。
The highs and lows of life.
探し出せ、あの一家を。まだその辺にいるはずだ。見つけ次第殺せ。逃げるんだ。今すぐ。
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. I get that, Lovely, because, like, yeah, if we, like, compare this to, like, slavery, and then, you know, like, slave owners, then, you know, if you were, like, a slave, slaves are then freed, right? And then you start your own, like, town of, like, black people, and all of a sudden a slave owner comes in being like, hey, what's up, guys? I used to be a slave owner, but, like, I'm not that type of person anymore. I'm going to be friends with you guys. Okay. Okay. So, it's just having to overcome that feeling of, all right, I'm going to get you back, is hard. Very hard for, I think, humans in general. I would agree with that, Blue. I wouldn't say I empathize with Dolphy after the backstory, but I understand him more. 100%.
私が甘かったんだ。頼む。何でもする。このままでは一家全員殺されてしまう。
君が選んだ人生だえ。捨てたものは戻らない。もう二度とかけてくるな。人間の分際で。
待ってくれ。頼む。このパンドラボめ。
Oh no, why? Why make Panda Man part of this? Man, fuck that.
父上、生まれて初めて。早く食えらしい。人が来る。母上、食べ物だい。ロフィ、ロシー。母上。ごめんね、少し体調が。父上、母上は死んだえ。
子供たちは許してくれ。私だけにしてくれ。
That's falling on deaf ears, because I'm pretty sure those same people were begging you about their kids, and you were like, fuck it, I'm a celestial.
父上。お前、なんてことしてくれたんだ。
若様、ローを捕らえてきたざます。急に脱走する気になったようざますね。
くそ、離せ。
コラソン。くそ、死ななかったのか。これじゃあ俺の死に損じゃねえか。バッファローはアイスで買収したのに自分でチクりやがったな。確かに歯は体を貫いたはず。
お前をここへ呼んだのは他でもね。お前を正式にドン・キホーテファミリーの一員に迎えることにした。
ファミリーでいい。
お前には素質がある。
見込まれたわね、あった。若様は将来を見抜く男よ。コラソンのことまだ知らねえのか。将来を見込まれてもどうせ3年後に俺は死ぬ。
それはお前の運次第。
うん
うちは闇取引が専門でな。悪魔の実も取り扱ってる。身の能力ってのは時に人知を超える。お前の病気を治せる能力もあるかもしれない。
He said his op-op fruit, like, it can make eternal life if they... How did they figure that out? Does that mean there's somebody around here walking with eternal life? Because they've tried it before?
られたのか。始末はつけたんだろうな。
あいつ俺をかばったのか。
He doesn't talk, so I can't figure out his personality. The music, though, like, isn't that when we took the Grand Line? Dellinger! Look at him, he's so small. Like, is he even, like, why would you have a baby on your team at that point? What is he doing beneficial? Like, why do you keep slipping? Is it... I want to see when you got your devil fruit. Oh. Wait, go back. Who had what? I'm pretty sure they made it appropriate. I think Law had apple juice. I think Baby 5 had apple juice. Did Dellinger too? I just noticed. Have we seen Dolphy's ship before now?
興味ねえよ。
ノリ悪い。楽しくない。
死んだって。どうせ俺は死ぬんだ。
それより本名あるなら教えろですよ。2年前コラさん刺したの若に作るぞ。
作るぞ。
トラファルガー D ワーテルロー。D は隠しな。ワーテルは意味なで。うちの家族は代々。
なんだ、あんまし面白くない。
本当ですよ。
お前らがしつこく聞いたよな。おい話せ。なんでコラさん何の用だ。
Does that apply for Luffy and everybody else too? That D is a secret?
なんだよコラさん。やんのか。どうした。かかってこい。
I didn't think the D actually meant something. I thought it was just kind of a coincidence type thing.
誰だ。
ロー、お前はあいつと一緒にいちゃいけねえ人間だ。
Interesting. Roger spoke of Will the D. True. I don't know why. I just kind of just took it of like, well, that's just kind of like his thing. Like, it's not an actual. I don't know. I guess I just never really took it serious. Like, I was like, yeah, it's Will the D, but it's kind of just like that's a coincidence thing. It's not an actual legitimate secret thing. Mozy, you're assuming things. Pretty sure homing it was never like that. Pretty sure he treated them at least decently. Also, the guy in the thing was not their slaves. He meant I was your slaves, as in the celestial dragons. They're all protecting their things onto them. I mean, I don't think I'm assuming at all. You can think I'm assuming, but I see, there's no way that Honing was a nice celestial who treated his humans with respect and treated them as if they were normal, but then Dolphy has a mentality of, kneel before me because I'm a celestial, let's go out and buy some more, you know what I mean? Like, if Honing was actually nice and kind celestial, and why would then Dolphy grow up with a completely different mentality? His mentality is based off of probably how he was raised, which was that he was better than everyone. So I can't imagine Honing, I'm assuming at some point Honing changed. That he probably was like a regular celestial, and then at some point he realized what he was doing and then changed. That would be my only assumption. I think it would be very naive to think that he was a upstanding celestial from birth and just Dolphy was the black sheep of the family. That's a very good point, Majin. I think that's right there. If Honing was a good person, he would have corrected Dolphy when Dolphy was like, I want to buy humans, he'd have been like, that's not what humans are like. We don't buy slaves, Dolphy. They're, you know what I mean? But that doesn't seem like it's the case. It seemed like Dolphy was like, let's go out and buy humans. And his dad was like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go ahead and do that. And then he realized like, oh shit, I probably shouldn't do that anymore. Not only your parents influence you, but also your environments. 100%. I mean, that is a fair point, because to your point, Lovely, I could also see it that, you know, because there are like, I'm going to play, I guess, devil's advocate against my argument that Honing was evil, is that there are those parents who are, you know, like, I'm going to be very stereotypical here, but there are like those, like, you know, single mom who's like, I go to work and work 2 jobs trying to raise my kid to be a good, upstanding kid, and the kid turns into a gang member. It's just like, that kid right there, his parents was a good person. She was kind-hearted. She wanted her kid to turn out right, but the environment got a hold of him. So I guess you can make that argument that Honing was a kind-hearted person, tried to raise Dolphy right, but Dolphy was around other Celestials that they overrid what Honing was trying to instill in him. So you're right, that could be the case, and my assumption could be wrong, but I highly doubt it. I'm enjoying debating over fictional characters, right? I think everyone is just trying to say it's more complex and Honing owed slave, therefore Honing is 100% evil and is 100% wrong about everything. Right? That's... what? Was I portraying that he was 100% evil? Because I thought that's the whole reason I paused like a couple episodes ago, is because I was having a hard time of... he is not 100% evil, but at the same time he is. Like, alright, well that was it for my reaction to episode 702 of One Piece. I do appreciate you guys sticking around and watching that reaction. It was real, it was complicated, it was real complicated. Later on.